We are now live on YouTube and Facebook. Madam Chair, you have the floor.
All right, thank you, everyone. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Public Building Commission of Chicago being held today, March 14th, 2023 at approximately 2 p.m. Today's meeting is being conducted by video conference with limited in-person participants at the Daly Center. Director Sanchez, please call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I just wanted to provide a reminder that as we begin our meeting, to please be sure that you are on camera and that your microphone is unmuted during the vote for each agenda item. Now, please be sure that your mic is unmuted as I call the roll. Chairman Lightfoot.
Present.
Commissioner Dubuclet.
Present.
Commissioner Ellis.
Present.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Present.
Commissioner Maldonado.
Present.
Commissioner Prackwinkle. Commissioner Prackwinkle, I see that you joined. Can you please unmute your phone?
Let's move on.
Commissioner Randall.
Here.
Commissioner Whitley.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Director Sanchez. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, public participation. Pursuant to Section 2.06G of the Open Meetings Act, a public comment period will be held. Registered speakers will be allowed 2 minutes to provide comments. My understanding is that there are two registered speakers today who will participate.
Yes, Madam Chair. Our first speaker is Mr. George Blakemore. Mr. Blakemore, if you can please come up to the podium. Yes.
I'm related to see you Lady Lightfoot, and you will be missed. And
I'm sorry, folks. Is there a way to turn up the volume on Mr. Blakemore's microphone? I'm having a hard time hearing him.
Give us 1 second.
And let's start the clock over because
Yes.
okay.
Just talk.
No, they can just.
Okay.
let's make sure that we can hear him though.
Can
Can you hear me now? Lady Lightfoot, can you hear me?
She can. She can.
Yes, I can, Mr. Blakemore.
Okay, well, I know that I'm gonna miss seeing you, and it was just an honor to be one of your supporters. I wish you joy and happiness, and I want to see more of you in City Hall, and I want you to come down and help me with some of these old hacks and be a sign up. Let them see you. May God bless you and your family. And you know I'm gonna have to paint a coat for you and your lady friend. I want to know your size.
So it's the countdown. Oh, the timer to let.
Time is not over. So
No, along. There's no-
Show that.
enjoy.
I'm sorry, can we pause? Who's ever operating Commissioner Prackwinkle's camera or access, can you please mute yourself? Because you're speaking and you're interrupting Mr. Blakemore. We can hear you.
Go back.
So can you
I
just
apologize. I apologize.
Okay.
Talk your issues.
All right, Lady Lightfoot, I want to wish you joy, peace, and serenity. It was just wonderful. I think that she was the greatest mayor that the city of Chicago have ever had, because she came in a time of COVID-19 and also with Black Lives Matter. And I was just, I'm so glad that I want you to be at peace and don't be a stranger at City Hall, because you can come down and help me give them hell. There's something else. And thank you for cleaning up the swamp. Yes, indeed. May God bless you. And thank you for being one of the greatest mayor of the city of Chicago. And I'm gonna paint that coat for you and your lady friend. You have to give me the size, and I'm gonna make something real nice for you. And God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Blakemore.
Madam Chair, let the record reflect that we have Commissioner Preckwinkle present, and Commissioner Chapman is also present via speakerphone. She was having some technical difficulties, but she is also present.
Yes, if I could be added to the roll, I'd be grateful. Thank you.
The record will solely reflect President Preckwinkle and Commissioner Chapman.
Thank you. Madam Chair, our second speaker is Mr. Tyrone Mohammed, who is the Executive Director of XCons for Community and Social Change. Mr. Mohammed, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, George just messed my whole, speech up, so I guess I got to say this then. Mayor, I wish we could have a better relationship. As I believe your intentions were to make the city better. I did vote for you your first term, didn't participate in the last round, but I did vote for you. And I just wanted to say to you that you probably could be a better servant to me as a private citizen. I was told that before by the elected official. But with that being said, wish you well. And with the few seconds I have left, I just want to say to you all that the number one thing for formerly incarcerated persons is probably housing. After that is transportation. Because it makes no sense to have a job if you don't have ability to get to a job, to and from. And the next thing is probably just being able to have employment. It's a whole bunch of development going on in the city. You talk about public building commissions and things. I see a city preoccupied with building buildings and structures, but the less attention is focused on building men and women and building minds, as indicated by our failing school system, as well as our mass incarceration levels of Black men and boys. I just hope everybody listening on this, that's on this panel and the commissioners, take full responsibility of what this city looks like moving forward. Because we're not going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. All I'm gonna do is continue to increase voters' participation of the formerly incarcerated people. And I know we have an awful lot of us in this city, and we would like to just have our voice heard. That's what it's been all about for me, in reducing violence. And that's number one.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed, for joining us today. Madam Chair, that's all we have for registered speakers.
Thank you, Director Sanchez. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Next up, consideration of approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on February 14, 2023. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion is approved. Next up, item A4, report by the Administrative Operations Committee regarding the meeting held on March 8, 2023 and March 14, 2023. Chair Maldonado.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee met on March 8 and March 14, 2023. Our report is as follows. The Director of Procurement reported on 4 task order awards for specialty consultant services to previously appointed firms. The report is under tab A4A. The Director of Procurement reported on the status of a recommendation of firms to provide energy performance and analysis and contracting services for various projects, and on the appointment of an architect engineer of record for the Emergency Medical Service Addition project. The Executive Director will provide additional details during her report. The Director of Procurement reported on amendments for Architect of Record Services, Engineer of Record Services, and Architect Engineer of Record Services to 33 firms. We are proud to report that 28 firms are either minority, women, or minority and women business enterprise firms. These amendments increase the maximum compensation of the program-wide agreements of $5 million. $5 million. Task orders will be issued on a project-specific basis. The term of each agreement continues through the Commission's final acceptance. of an outstanding project deliverables. The report is in your packet under A4B. The Chief Development Officer reported that there were no field orders above the reporting threshold and provided a recommendation to ratify 2 change orders processed since the last board meeting under tab A4C as follows. A change order in the amount of $8,666.71 for the Belmont Cragen Elementary School project, and a change order in the amount of $82,855.24 for the South Dome facility on Grand Avenue. The committee accepted the recommendations and reports from the PBC representatives. That concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept the report of the Administrative Operations Committee?
Yes, motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. The report is accepted. Next up, item A5, consideration of approval to appoint firms to provide energy performance analysis and contracting services for various projects. Director Sanchez, can you provide details?
Yes, Chair. On December 2022, the PBC publicly advertised requests for proposals from firms interested in providing energy performance analysis and contracting services to the PBC and its clients. We conducted a pre-submission conference for firms interested in providing these services. Over 40 individuals and 7 energy service companies, also referred to as ESCOs, attended. 4 proposals were received and evaluated for experience, expertise of staff, capacity, project approach, and anticipated pricing. Interviews of the firms were held, and the ESCOs were asked about their ability to provide tax credits, their approach to providing the services required, and the roles of specific personnel, to describe their MBE and WBE participation plan in detail, and about the firm's ability to incorporate innovation and technology in providing services. Based on consensus of the evaluation committee, we recommend 3 firms, Noresco, Ameresco, and Schneider Electric, to provide energy performance analysis and contracting services. The 3 firms have committed to meeting or exceeding the 32% MBE WBE participation goals. Upon approval, the PBC will enter into a task order-based master term agreement with each ESCO for an amount not to exceed $15 million for a term of 5 years, with 5 one-year extension options exercisable at the discretion of the commission. It is anticipated that the first task order will involve assisting with the Chicago Public Schools fiscal year 2023 energy efficiency and retrofit program. That concludes my report for A5.
Thank you, Director Sanchez. Is there a motion to accept the approval?
Yes, motion to approve, Madam Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. The motion is approved. Next up, item A6, report by the Executive Director regarding regular reports, development status, and other matters. Director Sanchez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am pleased to provide our draft 2022 year-end report. This document outlines our initiatives and performance metrics on completed projects. This report also demonstrates how the PBC has built neighborhood anchors that help to make all communities better and safer places to live. In 2022, on behalf of the Chicago Public Schools, the PBC successfully constructed the new 90,000 square foot Belmont Cragen Elementary School, which is located within the footprint of the Chicago Park District's Reese Park. In addition, the PBC was responsible for the design, selective interior renovations, and the creation of a new 2-story, 21,000 square foot athletic annex facility and sports hall of fame for Wendell Phillips Academy High School. Furthermore, in 2022, the PBC enhanced our partnership with 2 assist agencies to spur minority and women job seeker participation in PBC's construction or renovation projects. The PBC also hosted 10 community hiring intake sessions where all interested and qualified candidates applied for hiring opportunities on active as well as upcoming PBC projects. In 2023, we expect to continue our track record of delivering valuable public amenities in a way that illustrates excellent stewardship of public funds while giving every Chicagoan an opportunity to enjoy these facilities and the services that they provide. Finally, I want to take a moment to acknowledge Women's History Month by thanking our chairman and also our board members who are inspiring all of us by their willingness to serve while making great contributions to our city and our county by their leadership in all levels of government. You are all amazing role models, and I am profoundly grateful for your support of not only this agency, but for our city and county. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Sanchez. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The report is accepted. Next up, item B1, consideration of approval of an undertaking request from the City of Chicago Department of Assets, Information and Services for the development of the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project located at 701 North Kilbourne Avenue. Director Sanchez.
Thank you. The PBC will partner with the city's Department of Assets, Information and Services and the Chicago Fire Department on the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project. The project is anticipated to provide for a 3-story addition that includes hands-on simulation spaces, skilled-based classrooms, and conference room to support emergency medical services training. The undertaking budget for this project is not to exceed $37 million. We look forward to working with the city on the successful delivery of this project and to support the city's first responders. That concludes my report for B1.
Is there a motion?
A motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Chapman seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Commissioner
Nay.
Peckman wishes to be voted no.
No, Commissioner Randall.
The motion is approved. Next up, item B2, consideration of approval of the architect of engineer of record for the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project located at 701 by North Kilbourne. Director Sanchez.
In conjunction with the previous EMS project undertaking, the PBC consulted its architect of record and engineer of record letters of interest and qualifications, also known as the LIQ databases. We have 126 architects and 69 engineers enrolled in these LIQ databases. As part of the LIQ requirements, firms must demonstrate recent relevant experience with various user agencies. After consideration and review of interest and availability, staff recommends the appointment of AECOM Services of Illinois as the architect engineer of record for the Emergency Medical Services Addition Project. AECOM Services of Illinois has committed to meet or exceed the 30% MBE WBE goals for this project and has demonstrated recent and relevant experience with design of EMS facilities, successful execution of similar projects, knowledgeable and experienced staff, and commitment to maximizing the utilization of MBE and WBE firms. We are seeking the approval to appoint AECOM Services of Illinois as the architect engineer of record for this project. AECOM, we recommend the issuance of a new task order-based master agreement consistent with our pool of AOR EOR master agreements in the amount of $10 million. That concludes my report for B2.
All right, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Commissioner Preckwinkle has to be recorded as voting no.
Go ahead, Commissioner Randall.
No, Commissioner Randall.
The motion is approved. Finally, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to approve. Madam Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of the motion to adjourn signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, ladies.